Hi, this is Ira Gorlick, and I want to talk about a thing called a subdomain, assigning a subdomain. So we've registered the domain with your host, but now you have to assign that name to a called a subdomain. And frankly, this gave me a lot of problems when I was first starting. The best thing to do if you're at all confused is to call up your host and ask them to walk you through it. Essentially, though, what it means is that when you assign a domain to a host, so let's say I'm using Bluehost, and I then go in and register with the internet that says, if somebody types in my domain name, you send it to Bluehost. Well, that's great, but now what is Bluehost going to do with it? They have thousands and thousands of customers. So what they do is they allow you to sign up at called a subdomain. And then that allows them to know that when somebody gets, when they get a request to go to this particular domain, they know where to send it. Okay, so the way it works is that when you put in an address into your browser, the internet sends it to your host. It knows based on the DNS, and we'll talk more about internet addressing in the foundations and in other places in this book, is how it gets from the address to your host. But for the beginner, just know that it gets from when you put in the address, it gets to your host. Now, from the host, it needs to go to your directory. And they'll set up your directory. So under Bluehost, it looks like this. And under iPage, it might look like this. Under whatever host it is, it's going to look a little bit different. And then from your directory, you need to send it to the subdirectory. So let's look at this as sort of a physical example. If you have a letter that you're going to send to an address, it then goes into the post office. And the post office would be roughly equivalent to your host. And then your host would then send it to an individual mailbox, whether it be a home address or a mailbox in the post office. So this would be equivalent to your subdirectory. Hopefully this makes sense, and hopefully it clarifies a little bit about why you need to set a subdirectory, how difficult it may be. It's not that difficult, but once you understand the concept, you may be able to work through it. Thank you.